It was a hard-fought game. Both teams wanted to win. Both teams executed fairly well. But for us coming in here, you're not going to win a close game going 12 for 19 from the free throw line, shooting 63%. So 1-2 possession games, that at the end of the day, you got to make your free throws. And I think we went perfect in shoot around on both ends again. So I'm going to make a miss and shoot around so that we make them in the game. But I was proud of our guys' fight, and I'm proud of the guys that played. The last thing I'll say is I know UConn's won a couple championships. We've won a championship, and one thing no one ever talks about in those runs is usually got to get a couple breaks, and the biggest break is you got to be healthy enough to develop. And we've been bit with the injury bug from the standpoint. We're under 5 practices as a team together, and it frustrates the heck out of me as a coach because I think we could be really good. But if you can't practice together, you can't expect execution, and you can't expect to be at your best. So we got a culture of joy, a lot of prayers going, and make sure that we stay healthy the rest of the year and get everybody back so that we can be at our best come at the end of the year. But we're a better team playing UConn. So much respect for Coach Hurley and the program.
Scott, to that end on the injuries, I mean, what is VJ's status, and also Jeremy?
I mean, VJ's a really tough kid. He type of kid, sick, and he doesn't miss practice, but hamstrings are tough injuries, and we'll get an MRI tomorrow and see where things are at, and try to get him back healthy, because obviously just like Alex is huge for UConn, I mean VJ's critical for us.
And Jeremy?
Jeremy, right now I got to talk to Dave about where he's at. I just know we couldn't go back in the game, so.
Rob, as far as your game tonight, with Jeremy out there, do you feel like you had to take a little bit more on yourself?
First, I just want to thank God for allowing me to have another game to play. Then just thank my teammates for allowing me to entrust me enough to give me the ball in those situations and just allow me to run the team and stuff like that with a couple guys banged up.
Robert, what about the situation we were presented with here, with Jeremy having to leave early in the second half, and obviously your role stepped up? How can you and your teammates use what happened here tonight and kind of spin it forward for the benefit as you head into the back run of December?
Really just go back to practice and just keep working, keep bonding, keep building chemistry, and just get ready to take on the Big 12, stuff like that.
Scott, what are the good things that you take out of this? I mean, obviously y'all started really well.
I thought the start was really good. I thought we only 2 offensive rebounds. The second half we had 11, so I thought we competed a lot better. And that's hard because we really only played 7 guys, and normally when you get fatigued, you stop making tough plays. And so I was proud of the guys for that. We're progressing as a team. Why we played this schedule was to prepare us for Big 12 play, and again, these kind of wins or games don't hurt you if you lose, and if you win, it's a great game. So, and as a coach, again, you want to play against the best, and UConn's been the best the last 2 years.
Rob, can you compare this atmosphere to other ones you've been in?
Probably the Gonzaga one was pretty crazy. This one was pretty loud and crazy. Probably like similar, I would say.
You don't seem real fazed by that, though.
No, I would say Montverde, we played in a lot of crazy atmospheres. Then in my old high school, I played at the Palestra, so kind of used to it.
Well, let's rephrase that. When he was at Montverde, they were up 30 the whole game, so I don't know if the crowd was really going crazy.
Rob, building off the Montverde thing, you faced your former high school teammate Nick Neely today. How's like just going up against him, just being on opposing sides of the court?
Well, we had talked about it since we graduated because we knew the game was scheduled, so I'm kind of upset we lost, and he get to talk about that one. Probably called me later in the week about it, but just glad we got to fight together against each other.
Scott, the top 2 scorers this game are freshmen. What can you say about their maturity and their ability to play in a stage like this?
I think that's where the schedules helped us, because Gonzaga, we weren't ready for that atmosphere. And this is a great environment, great atmosphere, but the second time you face something, you're obviously a little more prepared for stuff.
Your thoughts on McNeely, how he stepped up for UConn?
Say it again.
McNeely, Lee McGinn, how he stepped up for UConn?
Yeah, I mean, we've known a lot about him, recruited him, and he's a great player, great family. He's really developed, and he's not just a shooter. He does a lot of things. Gets the free throw line. So Coach Early's done a great job with him.
Scott, what does this UConn team bring to the table that is different from the last 2 years? Maybe in some cases, maybe not as good or maybe as good. But how's the challenge of playing UConn different from what you can see?
Well, I think people that go through as much transition as us and UConn have, when you only have one returning starter, like you were, I'm related to Spanish since I wasn't very good at it, and I took it for 4 years. You get teams that return players, they're in Spanish 3, and you're in Spanish 1. So at the beginning of the year, you're just behind. Now, the great thing is you have a high ceiling, and you can get there. And UConn has a high ceiling, but as good a program as they are, as good a coaches and players, it's really hard to compete against programs that have returning guys that know what the coach wants, knows the pace of the game, offense, defense. I mean, again, just really puts you behind early in the season. But that's why you play this schedule so that you're ready in conference.
Scott, what was UConn doing different today than you saw on the tape from Maui?
First thing is they could have been 3-0 in Maui. I mean, every game was obviously winnable, so they're not that far off. I thought they made a couple more plays, and I mean, people shot, 53% from 3 in Maui against them. Now, let's say they didn't even show up and play defense. It's hard to shoot 53%. So, I mean, people made shots against them, and we made shots, but we didn't. We shot 35 from 3, and that's good for college normally, but it's not 53.